Hi everyone, Leah here from EurekaCrystalBeads.com with another fun beading video for you. Before I get started, just a quick reminder to go check out the rest of our channel. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and notification bell and you'll always know when we're posting new content. So for today's project, it's actually going to be a two-parter. So in part one, we're going to be utilizing some natural silk cording here to hand knot some freshwater pearls into a beautiful knotted bracelet. Now I'll go over the materials in just a moment. But as a little sneak peek of part two, which is coming soon, I'm going to show you how to do a beautiful little peyote bezel around a 14 by 10 millimeter crystal pear that will end up hanging off of the toggle clasp. And this is a crystal pear from Eureka's own Krakovski line of crystal stones. All right, let's get started. So let's go over the materials for part one. Now, first of all, we're going to be using a card of natural silk by Griffin. This is size 3, which is the thickness of the cord. And if you've never worked with this type of cording before, you're going to notice that there's a needle woven right onto it. And that is crucial for getting beads like pearls with very small holes over the needle and onto the cord because it doesn't have a cord that has to double through the eye of a needle. Now, we're also going to have, of course, our beautiful little potato-shaped freshwater pearls. We're going to be using a TierraCast toggle clasp, a couple of clamshells, and then a little bit of GS Hypo Cement to help secure some knots. And we'll be using an awl to help form our knots. Now first, some helpful little tidbits about working with silk. When you buy a card of silk like this, you're going to notice that it has 2 meters of cording on it with a needle woven onto the end. Now it's very important that you don't start at the needle end, measure how much you need, and then cut it off, because what will happen is you will be left with the rest of the card of silk with no needle attached. So whenever you're doing a project with cord like this, with a needle woven onto it, you will end up having to slide every bead that you use over the entire length of this cord, starting at the needle to the very end. You will get likely several projects out of this card of silk, depending on how long each project is. And of course, each subsequent project will have a shorter amount that you will have to drag all of your beads over. But that is crucial in order to get all of the use out of your card of silk here. The other little tidbit I want to mention is that when you take the silk off the card, you'll notice that it has these little kinks in it. Now, I'm going to actually stretch my silk, and there's the tiniest bit of give that you will feel as you do this. And one of the things you're going to notice is that now those kinks are just a bit less. And we stretch our silk for 2 reasons, actually. One, to get rid of some of those kinks, but also because the silk will naturally stretch over time. So if you pre-stretch it, you're going to get more longevity out of your knotted piece of jewelry before it eventually has to get re-knotted, because eventually the knots in the silk stretch out. So you pre-stretch a little bit, that way you can knot as tightly as possible, and then your piece is going to last and look fresher longer. Now our first step here is to go to the end of the silk, and we're going to tie a nice tight double knot. So that's going to be right over left, and we'll tie another knot right on top of it. And I actually like to do a square knot, which is right over left and then left over right. That second knot is backwards, and it helps the knot to stay a little bit tighter. So we want a nice little knot right here. Now, before we trim this off, we're going to put some GS Hypo Cement glue on it. And we're not going to trim this off until that glue is a little bit more dry. Now, if you've never worked with GS Hypo Cement before, it's a really great little glue for knotting, for gluing little fibrous knots like this. And it has a nice pinpoint applicator. So I'm going to just gently start to squeeze out some of the Hypo Cement. I'm going to add a nice little layer on top of that knot. And then I'm going to stick the little pinpoint right back into that hole. And a little tip about GS Hypo Cement: once you get that glue flowing, it likes to keep coming out until you get it plugged back up again. So I'm just going to get off that little bit of excess right there and then plug that up right away. Now you can see that I have a nice little bit of glue on here. Get that nice and worked in. This will eventually get trimmed off when that glue is closer to being dried. So for now, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to go to the far end of my silk, which has my needle, and I'm going to go into the clamshell, the belly of the clamshell, and out the little hole that's in the hinge in the bottom. And what's going to happen is as I pull this all the way through, and of course, like I mentioned, you're going to have to pull all of the silk all the way through. So pull slowly. Trust me, it's not a race here. If you pull too fast and you get a knot and you can't pull that knot out, you may have just rendered your entire card of silk useless. So pull nice and slow. Be patient. And you can see that the knot that we made is what keeps the silk now from pulling through all the way. So we're just going to let this kind of hang out here for now. What we'll do later is later on we will trim the silk off closer, and then we will shut the clamshell with just a pair of pliers. Okay, at this point, all I've done is I've slid my first pearl onto my needle, and I've slid it all the way down my silk to my clamshell. Now, the easiest way to do this is to create an overhand knot and create that knot as close as you can to the pearl, because the closer you can make that knot to the pearl, the less movement you have to do to get that knot over to the pearl. So now I have my little overhand knot here. You can see it just hanging out right there. Now I'm going to take an awl and I'm going to stick it right in the knot. And you'll notice that the knot has two parts. There's the part where it's woven into itself here, and then there's the big loop. I want the big loop on top. I find that that's what makes the knot roll easiest down the line of silk to get to the pearl. And I'm just going to roll my knot right down. And as I get closer, I'm going to move it to the tip of the awl until it pops off. Now my knot is not completely tight there. What I like to do is a little trick. This is a good little trick for like knotting for beginners, is when I go to stick on the next pearl to my needle, I bring this all the way down and I use this new bead to push that knot tighter. It pushes against it, and now we have a nice tight little knot that's pushed right up against that pearl. And we're going to do the same thing after this one. I'm going to create that overhand knot. And again, ideally, I'm creating it as close to the pearl already to start with to make it easiest. Okay, I'm going to take my awl. I'm going to stick it through the loop so that way the single piece of silk is on top and that kind of woven part is on the bottom. And I'm going to start to pull my long piece of silk and just roll it right down towards that pearl. And I'm going to keep giving it a nice little tug as I pull it closer to that pearl, just like this. And don't worry again if it's not too tight, because we're going to go all the way back to that needle, stick our next pearl on there, slide it all the way down, pull nice and carefully, and then push this just right up against that knot. And then look, we have these beautiful knotted pearls, and there's not the littlest bit of wiggle room in between, which is what you want to see. You want nice tight knots. Now, if you find that you tend to knot your beads so tightly that they sit stiffly, that's actually what you want, believe it or not, because like I said before, eventually silk will stretch. Eventually, no matter how tight you got these knots, they will tighten even more. And as they tighten even more, your pearls will start to have some wiggle room. So the tighter you can get your knotted piece with to start with, the longer you have before things start to get wiggly and loose. Because the fact of the matter is that all knotted pieces eventually have to be re-knotted. This is just a realistic fact when you do knotted pieces. Now, well, then you might be asking yourself, well, why am I knotting them then? Why am I doing this if I'm going to have to redo it eventually? Well, because number one, there's beauty in tradition. And number two, pearls, which are what are traditionally knotted, they are not impermeable to scratches and getting flaws. And you don't want two pearls rubbing up against each other, because they're going to wear at each other. That nacre, that is layer upon layer, and it's going to wear at each other. So the knots are going to protect those pearls from each other. But in addition to that, should your piece ever break, at most you'll lose one or two pearls, and that's it. And that's kind of a nice little added bonus. But yeah, like I said, in the end, there's also beauty in tradition, I think. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep getting these knotted. I'm going to do the same thing over and over that I just showed you, and then I will show you how we finish up. Okay, so I've gotten my bracelet mostly all knotted up, and you can see how there's nice tight little knots in between each pearl, and our pearls cannot wiggle, and that is what we want to see ideally. Knotting does take practice. So before you start knotting beads that are perhaps really important to you, I would definitely recommend doing some practice, which is again why those Griffin silk cards are great to have in such nice long lengths, because you could definitely do some practice with some of the length and then still have plenty to do your final project. So I've ended here where I have one more pearl left to add, and I have a knot that's right there. So I'm going to get my last pearl right on here, slide it all the way down, tighten that last knot just a bit, and now we're going to go to the other clamshell, but we're going to go through it in the opposite direction. So before we went into the belly and out the bottom, now we're going to go into the bottom and out the belly, just like this. You're going to slide this all the way down. Now, when you're figuring out your measurements, you want to take into account that the clamshell will add a little bit of length, and the clasp will, of course, add some length to the total length of your bracelet. So just keep that in mind to know at what point you want to stop knotting. So now what we need to do is, just like we have a nice little knot in the other clamshell, holding the clamshell there, we need to get a couple of knots down into the belly of this clam, and we're going to do that the same way. We're going to be making that first overhand knot, and we're going to slide it down right into the belly of the clam, just like this. Now we're going to do another knot right after that, and we're going to also slide that one down into the belly of the clam. And if you're worried at all that the knot isn't going to be around the first knot, it's okay. We are going to have some GS Hypo cement on there, so the whole thing will be a nice little hard knot when all is said and done and dried. You want to get it as close to that first one as possible. And what I'm doing here is I'm just using my awl to press against my beading surface and then pulling my knot in between, against the awl. And that's going to help to get them tightened up. Now we're going to get some GS Hypo cement in there. And as you can see, it immediately starts to ooze out. So you got to work pretty fast and have some pretty good eyesight on. Put your best readers on. I like to get the little excess glue off of that before I push it shut, just so that way it's always easy to open up. And then, just like the first knot, we're going to let this dry before we snip it. And I'm going to go back to this side. I'll let that side sit for now. I'm going to go back to this side because this side is pretty dry now. I'm just going to use some scissors to cut nice and close. Take a pair of pliers that you have lying around, and we're going to gently shut our clamshell. It takes very little pressure to do this. We're going to attach it to the loop of our clasp and gently guide that loop shut the rest of the way. Just like this. Now what I'll do is, once this is dried and I feel comfortable snipping off my silk, that's what I will do, and I will shut this clamshell the same way and attach it to the rest of that. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've gone ahead and trimmed off the silk from that second knot, and I've closed my clamshell. I'm going to get this right through my toggle loop, and I'm going to guide that loop shut, and there we go. We have our finished bracelet. Beautiful, classic knotted bracelet that has kind of a modern flair with this type of beautiful ornate toggle clasp. And like I said, in part 2, I'm going to show you how to bead a beautiful Krakovski brand crystal, and we'll have it hanging off the loop of that clasp to add an extra fun and funky flair. See you next time.